This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Katie Shorey. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Well, I'm hiding upstairs so my two dogs don't start barking and interrupting us, but otherwise, just prepping for the week ahead and excited to talk to you.
Well, I am so excited to speak with you as well. Do tell us, what part of the world are you in right now?
Yeah, so I am in Portland, Maine, which is in the... I was listening to some of your other people speak, and they had this whole plan of what they were saying. And I was going to say, I'm in Portland, Maine, and that's in North America, north of Boston, for all you folks who don't know that we have running water up here in Maine.
Yeah. When we came from Boston, when we did our drive, and we came to Portland, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful area. I had a ton of fun up there. It wasn't cold, super cold though, when we were there. How is it now?
What month did you come?
It was the 29th of June we were there.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we're in mud season right now, so even though we had a snowstorm last week, it has since melted, and we're just waiting for spring, but we'll probably be stuck in the 40-degree, 50-degree temperatures for a while.
All right. Well, do tell us, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
Yeah, so I am the proud president of Startup Maine, which is a nonprofit here in Maine that focuses on entrepreneurs, and we serve as a convener of resources and ideas, and we put together really great programs. And so I have a friend who knows that I love being a connector and serving as a connector, and somebody posted your story online and what you were working on, and I just had to sign up. So I think it's my talent of curiosity and wanting to be a connector that brought us together tonight.
Who did you learn that from?
You know, I was thinking about that. I definitely got it from both of my parents. My mother was a executive at a hospital when I was growing up, and she's very gregarious and had to be somebody that people liked, being a woman in a leadership position, but also she was very approachable and fun and asked a lot of questions. So I think I got that from her.
You said gregarious, and it took me back immediately to filling out a personality assessment test called DISC. Are you familiar with it?
I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay. Yes, it's a psychometric analysis, and you fill out the words that closely describe how you would interact with a question, right? And gregarious was there. I was like, I don't know what this means, and I think I lost points because of that.
But you are, I bet. So.
Well, I was like, oh, that's me, yeah. And then I got in there, but yeah. So gregarious is a very beautiful word, and you using that to describe your mother is pretty intriguing as well. You being, to me, from our conversation and pre-conversation, a gregarious person as well.
Yes, indeed.
So why will you continue to be that person? Definitely it takes energy being that person.
Yes, it does.
Why will you continue nevertheless? It's a deep question, isn't it? Why will you continue being that person?
So I think I've learned a lot over, especially the last few years of my professional career, that I want people to think of me as a leader, but also somebody that they can trust and that they can come to when they need advice. So, but I try to do it with a sense of humor and not taking things too seriously. So I think it's just really important. I try not to, I think at times people in their professional careers can, or as their professional selves can kind of downplay maybe some of their emotions or some of their, who they are. And I just don't want to have to do that. I just want to be myself and my wild, open, happy self.
Love it. I totally agree that you should be that person. So how does that impact Startup Maine? Tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, so we have been around this is going on our 6th year. last year we went through some growing pains in figuring out who we were, because it was our 5th year and we had some tough questions to answer. And so we rebranded, and we made some changes in the conference, and we used to just be a one-time of year event. And now we do a bunch of stuff with other partners, other organizations, employers, that helps us figure out, okay, how can we help entrepreneurs grow? How can we help get people to move to Maine, grow their businesses in Maine? And so I have the honor of being able to work with different partners and different groups across the state and try to partner on initiatives that help make the robust entrepreneurial ecosystem even better.
Love it. So where's the best place for someone that's listening to connect with you?
Startup Maine, MAINE.org. And you can find me at katie@startupmaine.org.
Love it. Tell us one other thing, Katie, you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
Well, other than exercising, even though I would consider that only kind of consistent, I've said yes very consistently over the last 3 years, be it speaking engagements, trying new things, meeting people for coffee, taking the meeting. I've just said yes to everything that I possibly could just to get exposure and meet new people.
How does it make you feel when you look back from now to then? How does it make you feel seeing what you've accomplished because of it?
A little overwhelming, but proud at the same time. I think I've really been able to make a mark here and hopefully start to grow my brand. But I'm just at the very beginning. So now I'm thinking, when I look back, I think, okay, now what am I going to do with all of this? And it just makes me excited for the future.
So you weren't in Maine originally? You moved there from somewhere, did you?
So I grew up here, and then I went to school, college in upstate New York, and then I lived in D.C., Washington, D.C., and San Francisco, and then moved back to Maine in 2015.
Yeah. I usually say I moved forward to Trinidad. Yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. All right, suggest to someone that's listening, someone who is in a similar position, why they should do what you've done by embracing the power of yes.
I think that it has opened my mind to different job, career paths down the line. I've met so many people that I probably wouldn't have even considered a potential acquaintance, but they've become great friends. And it's really just expanded my horizons into what I can do and what's possible. So I think, if you're ever feeling like in a rut or you don't know next steps, just saying yes to the weird little things that come your way can really open doors.
Love it. Amazing audience. Again, you're hearing it live from Katie Shorey. She is president and chairwoman of Startup Maine. Katie, let's switch gears for a moment now. Let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Katie, what's your earliest childhood memory?
I grew up on a dead-end street. So we were the only house at the end of the road. And all of the children would come and play in our backyard and in our forest that we had. And I just have this memory, I must have been 5 years old or so, of my mom or my dad ringing the bell to have us come in for lunch or dinner, because we would go into the woods and there were these really big rocks that when I go back now and look at them, they're not that big, but they seemed huge, and we would play on them, and our imaginations were so wild. And so I just remember being in the woods and then being called back to the house. And so that's always stuck with me.
When you look at our conversation in terms of your travels and where you are today, how do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
I think I had such a strong, wholesome upbringing with my family, and it has really grounded me. And I think because I've been able to take a lot of risks in my career and in my life, and I think I've been able to do that because I've been so privileged just knowing that I have my parents to fall back on in the sense of stability and just being there for me emotionally. And so when I think about that memory, I felt so safe playing in the woods, and I had such a fun, lively childhood. And I think that that's enabled me to be a very creative and trusting adult as well now.
Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind with that memory?
Yes, please.
I love the fact that being in business is like being in the woods. Oh my gosh. No,
So good.
there is the good things that go with it, but definitely the challenge. But to see the creativity that you in a particular space have allowed others to experience, just like back then, right? People would come and sit on the rocks, as you said, and experience that creativity. But to see that you're doing Startup Maine now, where you're giving people that, and to see that Maine in itself has been like the callback, if you would, the bell has rung for you to, yes, you did DC and New York, but you're back or forward home, and encouraging that creativity amongst others to come there as well. I love that you are like the bell now, if you would.
I love that. The bell has brought me back.
Love it. All right. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Oh, No Scrubs by TLC. I loved that song. I probably didn't even know what most of the words meant, but I sang it nonetheless.
Well, there we go. All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. You ready, Katie?
Yes.
Katie, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
No.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
I don't know.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
Yes.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Less than 8.
How often do you read?
Every now and then.
If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Katie Shorey, what would you say that is?
Be okay and embrace the unknown and be nice to everybody that you meet.
Love it.
That's not very, very unique, but it's how I try to live.
Simple. It's powerful. Katie, this has been such a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
We hope you'll join us in Portland, Maine for the annual Startup Maine conference. You can find more information about our program, startupmaine.org. The 3-day conference is only $48. Hope to see you there.
Love it, Katie Shorey. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.